What is going on, you guys? What is going on, you guys? My bad, a little technical difficulties, but we here. We are here, man. Fly Eagles, fly, go birds, all that good jazz. I'm in a good mood today, man. We are so close to this Monday night fight, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. Football starts back up tonight. We have to go through tonight. We got to go through Sunday, and then we finally get our Monday night game. So look. A lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on this game. I think that it's going to be a very fun game. I think that it should be a back and forth game. This is two top teams, probably the two top teams in the NFL right now. Both have, struggled at some point. Both have looked great at some point. So I'm excited for this game. I think that this will really tell us a lot. I'm so used to my camera being up there. I keep looking right in the light and blinding myself. But y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Joe Castro, a.k.a. Philly Fresco, and it is another episode of Philly the podcast. So we going to talk today. We're going to talk today, man. How many people? We already got 23 people in the building. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. Join the family if you aren't already a part of the family. Who do we got in here? I saw Antonio Holmes in the building already. I love it. I love it. We got Mark C in the building. What's going on? What's going on? What you say right here? Will said, "What's happening for Dow? Fly Eagles fly. We beating Kansas City Monday night and finally shutting up the naysayers. It's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel good. What's going on, Mark? What's going on, Robert? Yeah, I just watched the Nick Sirianni press conference too. I was like, maybe he'll say something. I was like, yeah, this guy's not saying nothing at all. They even asked him about Bradley Roby and if he would be starting as soon as he got healthy. They said, we'll see what happens. We got practices, and I like what some of our guys are looking like. He gave a bunch of answers nobody wanted to hear, but it is what it is. The Eagles are going to find out. Eagles fans are going to find out as the Eagles do, I guess. What's going on next, Chef? What's going on, PJ? Gary Pittman in the building. I'm chilling. Thank you for asking. Mark C says 23 people watching, only 7 likes. Yeah, now we got 33 people watching. How many likes we got? Let's get those up, man. I really appreciate y'all. We are definitely in the house next, Chef. We are definitely in the house. What's going on, Miss Ash? Gang, Eagles gang. We out here, man. What's going on, Jinx? We out here. How's that sushi going? I can't do sushi. I don't have the patience for that, but I'm doing hibachi. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'm working today, so I wanted to get this out, man. Nick never gives anything at the press conference. Yeah, we don't. We definitely do. The Eagles have always been like that. I feel like, you joke, my baby. I feel like the Eagles have always been like that, to be honest. We never really give much. Even when Andy Reid was our coach, it was always kind of, even Doug Peterson, especially Doug Peterson. I think he was a pro at that. We at 14 likes. All right, let's get those up. I ain't gonna keep asking, I'm saying? I ain't gonna bother y'all too much. But what's going on, Dolphy? What's going on? I ain't gonna skip you. Robert said, I would have asked, how can you help your coordinators be better situational? I'm not going to sit here and talk junk about the reporters. I got respect for a lot of the reporters that work with the Eagles. I've worked with a couple of them, so, mad respect, but definitely we need some new blood in there. Get some guys that really want to know about this team, but also there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of things you really can't ask Nick. We've seen Jalen Hurts get up and leave a press conference. Like, they have the right to do that after a certain amount of time. They only have to answer a certain amount of questions. If they don't like your question, they're not going to answer it. So it's, you do kind of have to walk that fine line, but it is what it is. I definitely get it. Michael, what's going on? So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys all being in here. We going to talk today, though. We got some things I definitely want to talk about. The Eagles, I got people mad on Twitter, apparently. I think we're at like 100K people that viewed it, and it's always funny to me. I totally forgot about the... Look at that. Y'all got me all messed up, man. I totally forgot about the poll. So, yeah, we have a poll today. We already got 25 votes, on the poll. And I want to know what you guys think. How do you think we should attack offensively against Kansas City? I put the options as pass heavy. That's at 24% right now. Run heavy's at 68%. And then I said safe first half and then adjust at halftime. That's at 8%. Figured that would be the lowest of the totem pole. And then the others, there's no others as of right now. I think everybody's kind of going with the run heavy. Look, this is a very good defense that we're going against as far as the pass game goes. As far as their pass defense goes, they are a very good team. So I personally want to see a lot of DeAndre Swift. I would love to see some Penny. I would love to see some Kenny Gainwell in the right situations. Utilize Boston Scott. Utilize Jalen Hurts' legs if you can. I think that That's how you can win this game. Gary Pittman brought up a good point. Yeah, start with that run and then hit him over the head with a little bit of, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I like this one. I like that. That's a good idea. That's what we should be doing. We should be trying to set up our pass. A lot of times I feel like we use our pass to set up the run, and I don't think that that's what you want to do in this game. So, look, I want to show you guys the graphic that got everybody mad. All right, we're going to talk about it because I like to see people upset, and it's funny to me. But shout out to everybody who got mad. I think the page was called like Philly. I don't know. I saw them comment on somebody else that posted it and said that they made it. So I apologize if you're out there. Definitely shout out to you for making this graphic. But they put it up on Instagram. I got to find the original post, but I put this up. People are upset. And when I say people, I mean Cowboys fans. And I'm not really sure why. There was no intention, at least on my part when I posted this, there was no intention to be like, oh, look, he's Brady now. That was far from what I was trying to say. It had nothing to do with it. It's just showing the combination. Now, wins are team stats. I will give you that 110%. I definitely believe that. But at the end of the day, through those 42 games, he did not have the same team. Right? Through those 42 games, there were definitely games that he had to go out there and win by himself damn near. His first year with us, he won, I think, 9, 10 games, something like that. So it wasn't like he had a all-star team every single year. Last year, we were very good. You can make the argument that he was very, very good. This year, again, we're pretty good, but at the same time, you can make the argument he's kind of dragging us through some of these wins. So, I love this stat. I think that this says a lot about not only obviously Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, but about this organization, man. We are a team that I really feel like are just starting to play our best football, especially offensively. Defensively, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm hoping that they can get better. Mark C says, I just don't want us running on 3rd and long. We're not going to hit home runs all the time. We're not. This is going to be a game that you got to take what the defense gives you, whether that's, running the ball or short throws, screens, quick passes. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, this is a good secondary and they have a good pass rush. So that's a good combination, right? This is a team I really see us trying to run against and trying to slow down that pass rush. And even just, like I said, the screen game should definitely be heavily used. I think that that's going to be a weapon for you. So we'll see what happens. Will says, I saved that picture. I love it. Just shows this is a winning team. Exactly. I think that's what I was trying to show is that this team is in some historic company right now. Look, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. There will never be another Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, we're the next coming. Jalen Hurts is the best. He's the GOAT. He's this, he's that. It's not that at all. It's that you should be proud of this. As an Eagles fan, as a fan of football, you should be enjoying watching this. We are a historic team. Winning like this is not easy. Winning like this in the NFL is never something that you just poo-poo on. And there's nobody else that they're putting this stat out. Who else are you seeing this about their first 42 games? We're quick to bring up, oh, this guy didn't get an interception in his first 300 passes, and then he sucks and doesn't win any games. I'm so over the narrative of all these stat padding things. Look, oh, he threw for this many yards. Oh, he caught for this many yards. Or this dude did this. If you're doing it and losing games, I really don't care. And I'm tired of hearing about it. So, look, we are winners. That's the only stat that matters to me. I could sit here and show you, how he's top 5 in most stats when it comes to under pressure. So this might be a game that actually, under pressure, he might do very well because he's been able to stay in the pocket for that extra tick and play very well. But I don't care about that because if it wasn't under winning circumstances, I really could care less. I would be pissed. I would not care about those stats. This is the stat that we care about, and that's what makes us different as Eagles fans. Real talk. That's what makes us different as Eagles fans. So, hey, it is what it is. Brian Johnson calling a go route to A.J. Brown on 3rd and 3 is beyond me. It's not even the 3rd and 3. Sometimes you can, definitely get over on some teams on 3rd and, short because they think you're just trying to get the 3, 2, whatever yards to try and, get the first down, and you can maybe go over top because they're not in position. It's the situational stuff. Like you're doing this when there's a minute and a half left and you can soak the game out, and instead you're putting your defense back out there. So he's done it a couple times. Sometimes most of the time, right now, all the times it has worked for us, right? It has technically worked for us, but you don't want to keep saying that. Ash says, we def have a winning team, no doubt about it, and in short time as well. Yeah. I mean, I truly do believe that it comes down to Howie Roseman. It comes down to Jeffrey Lurie allowing these coaches, allowing these scouts, allowing, everybody, the players, just to be themselves. So shout out to everybody. I'm sorry if I'm missing comments. You guys are killing it with the comments right now. Would you put Albert O in as a replacement for Goddard, even though Albert O isn't a great blocker? I think that a combination of Albert O and Jack Stoll will be very interesting because Jack Stoll is a very good blocker. Not the pass catcher that a Dallas Goedert is, but I would put Albert O in. But it's all situational. It really is. It's all about situations and seeing what gives you the best matchup in that moment. That's really what it comes down to. Look, Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson, they're going to have to coach this week. Sometimes you go out there and you just let your talent do what they got to do. This is not one of those games where you're going against a guy like Andy Reid. We all know Andy Reid is very, very good at making adjustments, and he's going to make adjustments, and he knows this team. He knows the Philadelphia Eagles. I know he hasn't been here for a while, but he knows the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a game you're going to have to coach. Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni, and definitely Sean Desai, you're going to have to go out there and coach. Because I said it last live that we did yesterday, and I'll say it again, man. We cannot go out there thinking just because they have, not the wide receiving core that we're used to seeing for that team, that they're going to be a pushover team. They're not. They're not going to be. So shout out to Berto. Oh, Junior. Let's not hide people's dumb comments. Shout out to Junior for saying, "Oh, we got 5 more Super Bowls." My guy, are you a Patriots fan? No. Are you probably a Cowboys fan? Came in here trying to flex off somebody else. He had 5 Super Bowls in his first 42 games. He had 1, and guess what? He had 1 appearance. And guess what? Hurts has 1 appearance. Losing a Super Bowl does not diminish the fact that he's playing at a great rate. That this team is winning games. But hey, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. I ain't even mad at you. Shout out to Berto, man. Shout out to Berto. I appreciate you coming in here. I'm glad you could come in. We got 39 people in the building, man. We got 40 people in the building, 25 likes. If we can get that up, I'd really, really appreciate that. Mark C says, I don't mind going over the top, but can we have a drag or a swing route on that play so we have a dump-off option to still get the first down? I agree. And look, we've seen it before, right? We've seen them put Kenny Gainwell or DeAndre Swift in motion, and it feels like it's open every single time. Look, I am not a quarterback. I am not an NFL coach. I am not a scout. I am not an analyst. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing when it comes to draft, and I enjoy that. But I'll never sit here and tell you I have all the answers. But when it looks like he's open every single damn time, let's just throw it to him once or twice. Let's throw that swing route once or twice and see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Facts, Joe. Got to coach the entire game. That's what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. And don't overthink yourself. Don't overthink stuff. Do not overthink. I'm going to say it one more time. Do not overthink stuff, man. Do not, because you have a great team. Utilize your team. Duffy says, Brian Johnson got to step it up when the fans know that what play is going to be called in the game. That's a problem because everyone else knows. We need no vanilla this half. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, I agree. It's funny because me and Joey were talking about this the other day on the Joe show. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't care. We're doing it like every Monday now, so it's unofficially official, man. That's bro. So we're probably going to be doing that a lot more. I know we're going to do it Tuesday this week because of the game. But either way, we were just talking about this, and it's like we see a new play, and we're like, oh, my God, what is that? Everybody reacts. Everybody's like, I've never seen that play before. How many of those do you have? Because it's time to start opening up that playbook. It's time to really start doing some things. And I keep on saying it. I'm going to keep on saying it. We need to start utilizing those 2 running back sets more often. I love them. I truly do love them. And now that you don't have Dallas Goedert, this might be the perfect time to do so, to be 100% honest. So, I mean, look, people are going to be mad about that, stat. I don't care. I don't care that you're mad about it. I love it. What's going on, Salo? What's going on, Linda? Don't have to block people talking crap. Let them. We 8-1. Exactly. Let them talk. I love it. I love the talk. I love the talk because if they not talking, they don't care, right? That's how I feel, at least. If I'm not talking about you, I don't hate you. I don't feel no type of way about you. If I'm mad at you, I probably hate you, right? If I'm talking junk, I probably hate you. If I'm saying nice things about you, then I probably love you, right? But they hating, and it's okay. It's okay. I get it. I'll be mad too. Salah says, I'm honestly unhappy with OC abandoning the run game after game. Only any attempt gain less than 5 years. He does. I do agree with that. I feel like that's been a problem with the Philadelphia Eagles for a while. No matter what coach it is. And I've said this before. Look, Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie want a passing attack. That's what they want. They know that that's what can win in the NFL. Shout out to my guy Brandon Jordan in the building, man. We got to get him back on here. Y'all got to tell him he got to get back on here. But no, yeah, look, we know that they want a passing attack. They want to be a proficient offense, and that's how you do it in the air game. So, but at the same time, I agree. You got to stop giving up on the run game, especially because it works for us. Like, even if you're not getting 5 yards a clip, even if you're getting 3-4 yards a clip, that still works for us. That still definitely works for us, especially 4 yards, right? The most obvious two plays is the QB sneak in the red zone and third down and running third and long and not going for it. Yeah. Well, what pisses me off sometimes about our third down decisions is you usually know that you're most likely going to go for it, right, on fourth and short. So why not run it? You know, so many times I see them go for a pass on 3rd and 3, and now you're stuck in a 3rd and 3, and it's like you really can't make a decision to go. You could, you know, and we have, but it puts you in a worse position. If you know I'm most likely going to go for it on this 4th down, why not? Why not, you know, run the ball? What's going on, King Eagle? What's going on? Our defense has to step up these next 3 games. Facts. And look, we've seen, you know, the Bills are going through some turmoil. I know that's not what we got to worry about right now, but you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they haven't been the high-scoring offense that they're used to be. They're not the team that, you know, we're used to seeing on offense. They're all right, but they're definitely not, you know, great like they usually are offensively. The loss of Eric Bieniemy and, you know, Tyreek Hill, those really are hitting them right now because they don't have wide receivers that I'm really afraid of. You got Travis Kelce, and I'll never lie about that. Travis Kelce's that dude, but I ain't worried about much else outside of Travis Kelce. Linda says OC had to protect the run game because Cam Jurgens was down and Lane Johnson got hurt in the Jets game. Yeah, I mean, I get that, you know, and they have been running the ball. I get it. It hasn't gone down too much, but it's situational. That's really what it comes down to me. Their desire to be pass happy ruins our team. Yes and no. It's all situational. It really is all situational. You can have that pass offense. We have that pass offense. You have 2 really, really great wide receivers. You have a great tight end. You got guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield. You have a very good offensive line. So it makes sense that you can definitely lean on that, but it's situational. You got to know when the situation calls for what it calls for. The Birds go 4-1 down this stretch. My bold prediction: Jalen Hurts wins MVP. I think he could. I definitely think he could. I think he should. I mean, if like you said, if he does 4-1, he definitely should. This should be our first complete game. We got to put it all together. I agree. You want to say, especially coming out of the bye, man. You know, you got to see what this team is, and I think this is the perfect time to do it. Robert says, run game activated. It's that time. TJ Maxx says you got to run the ball on Kansas City. I agree. This is not a great, you know, team at stopping the run. They are very good pass defense. So I agree. I definitely agree. And we have to stop letting teams hang around because it's going to bite us. Yeah, I agree. And the mistakes, right? We're going to go through the matchups and everything, but it's the mistakes too, right? You can't be having those turnovers. You can't have those turnover-worthy plays because better teams are going to make you, are going to make you pay. They're going to take advantage of it. We even saw it with the Jets. The Jets took advantage of us making a bunch of mistakes. So I don't know what just happened. I feel like I just heard something. Maybe I'm tripping. Did somebody just subscribe? Shout out to you if you subscribe, because I forget what I put these sounds as, but it is what it is. You just you have to be better. You got to be better, and I know that we're winning right now, so it's hard to really just complain about it, but you got to be better. It's the truth. It is the truth. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to be right back. Give me literally 1 second. All right. My bad, y'all. The annual the every live my mic has to go out. That's just if it doesn't go out, we got something to worry about. That's how I feel at this point. That's how I feel at this point. That secondary is most definitely suspect. You talking about the Eagles? The Eagles secondary is definitely suspect. The Eagles, yeah, it's definitely suspect. We definitely got to worry about that. I mean, hopefully, we're hoping that Kevin Byard can come back. You hopefully, I mean, not Kevin Byard, excuse me. Bradley Roby comes back. You're hoping you can get a little bit more continuity and a little bit better communication from a Kevin Byard. So you got to hope that they get better. I think they can improve. I think that they will improve. It's just to what capacity, how much better can they get with the people that they have in place. So it's definitely something we're going to have to figure out. It's definitely something we're going to have to figure out. We are going to win this game. I'm so confident. I'm so confident we will because the team is taking a loss in the Bulls suit personal. Yeah, and one thing that Nick Sirianni did say in his press conference, didn't say much, but he did say this, that if it's going to distract you, then don't use it. If you're going to use it as fuel to make you play better, then use it. So that's what I've been saying. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles do a good job of compartmentalizing things and knowing when to, kind of use juice from the outside world as something to kind of motivate them. So I'm hoping that they utilize all this to motivate them. People talking junk about them, people sleeping on them. I hope that they use all of that. Dak delusional fans with more excuses says Eagles miss Maddox. Yeah, we do. There's definitely no denying that. We definitely do. We definitely miss Maddox. I mean, we miss Chauncey Gardner-Johnson too. We miss that type of safety. We miss that type of versatility. I don't think we have that right now. Now, you hope that Kevin Byard can kind of start filling that role, and we'll see what happens. But right now, it's definitely something we're missing. Definitely something. It's definitely something we want to get better at. What's going on, Rylan? Just wanted to pop in here and show love to my guy, Philly Fresco. Love the Joe Show every Monday, man. I appreciate the content you put out, brother. I appreciate you, Rylan. I appreciate you for supporting it. Real talk. Yeah, the Monday Joe Show is actually really fun. We just did it once as just to do it. And it's just been awesome. Usually I work Monday, so I rush home to do those because they are a lot of fun. Love talking to my brother, Joey. I'm calling it now. Julio Jones game-winning touchdown. That would be insane. That would be insane. Not just because he got the touchdown, but because you called it. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. We got 40 people in the building, man. If 43 people, excuse me. If y'all could hit that like, hit that subscribe for me, I would really, really appreciate it. Michael Burton, let's get you the coaching. Let me see what you say first. All right. Let's get you a moderator. Michael. TJ, we're going to get you a moderator. Got to make sure everybody modded up. If you come in here and you show love and, you know what I'm saying, we got to get you modded up. All right. Michael said the coaching and D coordinators had time to for some fixes, time to scheme against it. Yeah, you have no excuses now. You've had 2 weeks basically to self-scout, to figure out who you are. I know that, the 1 week they probably took off, they took off a good amount of that first week to just get healthy and stuff. But, I mean, getting healthy doesn't mean you can't watch film. So I hope and I'm sure that this team has done their work and done their homework on themselves, which I think is the most important thing. Know what works, know what doesn't work, and kind of go from there. So I have no doubts that this team is doing what they got to do to get better. And that's all you can really ask for. That's all you can really ask for them is to get better. Keep getting better. Keep getting better. And that's it. Jinx Wolf said, question on both sides of the ball, who you think goes off. Offensively, I think our run game goes off. So I'm gonna say that DeAndre Swift has another big game this game. I think he's gonna be huge for our success. And then defensively, it's a good question. Defensively, I want to say Jalen Carter, but he's probably going to be matched up against Creed a little bit. I know that their tackles aren't that great. So maybe Josh Sweat, either Josh Sweat or Hassan Reddick, their tackles aren't that great. So I'm going to say either Josh Sweat or Hassan Reddick. If our defensive tackles, if Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, whoever they're going to have in there can contain the middle of the pocket, if they at least don't give him outlets to run up the pocket or get into the gut of the pocket and extend plays that way, I think that our defensive ends will be able to feast, to be honest. So I'm going to say Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick, one of those two. And then offensively, I'm going to say DeAndre Swift. If I had to pick a wide receiver that's going to go off, I think it might be it might be Devontae Smith, just because Devontae Smith, I think he's going to kind of come out of nowhere on them, because you are going to be worried about the run game. You're going to be worried about A.J. Brown, and I think Devontae Smith might get a little lost in the shuffle. We all know who he is. So Joe, Nick has the side running Gannon's defense. That's why we are struggling for identity, like Fletcher said. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree that, I don't know. It's not the exact same defense, but I get what you're saying. It's the same principle. So, yeah, I mean, and at what point do you blame Nick Sirianni? Like, at what point do you start getting upset with Nick Sirianni? Like, that's what because right now it's hard to get mad at him because of the results. Like, this team is good, and you're not a defensive guy, so it's like maybe you should just get your hand out of that pot. Kind of like what Doug did, right? Doug just let Jim Schwartz do what the heck he wanted to do and kept it moving. Maybe it's the front office saying, hey, we liked how our defense looked last year. Let's keep going with that. But we don't have the players that we had last year either, so I don't know. Statistically, we're right on par with what we did last year. We weren't that great last year either when it came to the passing. I mean, the run game, we were terrible last year in the early half. So at least this year, we got a lot better there. Time for that pre-fight stare. Yeah, it's time. It's time. Will says, I'm working on my motorcycle, but still listen to Joey. Always a great show to watch and listen to. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Shout out to Salah with the $5 super chat. Said, Eagles fans, is it only me, or do we also feel like these coordinators are intentionally trying to give us a heart attack every game? It's not just you. It is not just you. I can guarantee you that it is not just you. I go insane every single game. Every single game, I'm like, oh my God, it can never be easy. It can never just be easy. And it's not going to be easy with it. I mean, knowing this team, this is when it gets easy, right? Knowing this team, this is when it gets easy. When you're going against teams that you feel like it's going to be tough against. That's what I feel is going to happen. Now that we're going against really good teams, or better teams, I should say, it's going to get easier, maybe, hopefully. A man can dream, right? A man can dream. But I appreciate that, Sal. I appreciate that $5 super chat for real. Miss Ash says Nick does have his hands in everything. Maybe in year 2 he'll lighten up. Maybe. Maybe in the second half. Right? Maybe in the second half he starts to kind of calm down. King Eagle says, why don't we run with Swift on the outside instead of up the middle? Great question. Great question. I mean, we have some dogs in the middle. You got Landon Dickerson. You got Cam Jurgens. We were doing very well running up the middle. And you want to start bringing those those cornerbacks in a little bit, right? You want to make the safeties come up a little bit. You want the defense to start trying to take advantage or take control of the middle of the field, because then that allows you to hit your guys on the outside, right? That allows A.J. Brown to go over the top, allows, Devontae Smith to go over the top. And it allows you to kind of get behind those linebackers and get into that, secondary. So, maybe that's why I think that it's time to start doing more, though. I heard these coordinators are using last year's coordinators' playbook. Please say it. So I don't think it's playbook, but definitely a lot of the same schemes, a lot of the same principles. Definitely the same principles. But it makes sense to a certain extent, especially offensively, because you have the same team. So why not utilize, what you did last year and it worked, and maybe make a little bit of tweaks to it? Defensively, we don't have the same guys, so it does get a little annoying. With the size guys getting healthy as a bar. Getting guys healthy in the secondary, do you think the defense will improve because of the roster getting healthier, or more so the extra time in the scheme for this game? I think a little bit of both. I think getting guys back, especially if you're able to get Bradley Roby back, that would be huge. But, I think that getting guys back is definitely going to be a plus for us, right? You know what I'm saying? And I think that the scheme, them being able to communicate, and I've said this about Justin Evans, and I know people probably think I think Justin Evans is the best player in the world because I talk about him so much, but it's the truth. You see the difference when Justin Evans isn't out there because he actually knows what's supposed to go on in that secondary. We've had so many different mix-ups, so many different matchup, secondary lineups that it's like, nobody knows how the other guy plays, so it's tough. When I got this guy over top, I know I can play the inside leverage, or I got this guy on the inside leverage, I can use the outside, I can do whatever it may be. You understand that how this other guy plays. I don't think the secondaries had that for much time, so that's what kind of messes it up for me. I got you. I'm gonna hit you with that moderator right now. Got you, boy. Got you, my boy. I hate the Vic Fangio style defense. It's so vulnerable. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Our defense, I really just feel like we don't have the players to play the style of football we want to play right now, and you're being very vanilla because you don't got the guys. I mean, that's really what it feels like, and it's not a excuse. I just don't think these guys have been playing that well, so it's tough. Little disguise goes a long way. Misdirection, decoys, spies, stunts, save the vanilla for the cake. That's my thing. Utilize more stunts. I don't think that we're a team that can really I don't think we can really blitz like that heavily because our secondary keeps on getting exposed. So I think that if you want to be aggressive, it's got to be up front. So use those type of stunts up front. That's what I think you need to do. Whatever happened to having a defense that matched the city's personality, or was that just all talk? I think that he wanted to be aggressive. We saw it a little bit earlier in the season. It's just this defense, the secondary just can't handle it right now. Every time we try to get aggressive, we get exposed. It's the truth. It just is the truth. What's going on, William Castro? What up? It's been a long time since I caught you live, bro. Glad I did. You're truly one of the best. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. Fly goes fly. You ain't lying. They mad at us, D. It's cool. I'm okay with them being mad at us because, like I said earlier, if you feel a type of way about us, that means you care. You know what I'm saying? He said the thumbnail of this video looks sus with your hands up like that. I don't know. You have to make it tight so that it doesn't look deformed. There's a lot of things that go into editing. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry, Nate. This bye week, so shout out to Snow Goons. You followed me on Twitter. I appreciate you. This bye week really helped not only for the injuries, but also Reed really don't know how the Eagles adjust the secondary and others. Yeah, I mean, we that's the thing. It's hard to adjust when you don't have your guys in there. Again, and I'm not making any type of excuses. They have not played well for the most part, but when you got most of your guys in there, I think that you can do some more things. I truly do believe that. Does press coverage even exist anymore? We're most definitely allergic to it if it does. I mean, I think that it comes down to the guys you have. I can't keep on saying the same thing. It really does, to me, come down to the guys you have. We don't have the players to press coverage all the time. We just don't. We really don't. Do you really trust James Bradberry pressing McCole Hardman this week? You trust that? Because I don't. And no shot at, James Bradberry, no shot at Slay. I just don't think that. I don't think that they do. I don't think that they have the guys. Is your thumbnail implying Hurts and Nick are equal to Bill and Brady? It's implying that they're better. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just saying that he's a winner, bro. It's a good thing to see. It's a really good thing to see. That's really all it means to me. I know people are gonna try and read way deeper into it, but Miss Ash says it's crazy how wild the game looks, but we're still on pace to have a great season. We dragged the D, but oddly enough, if they haven't lost us a game, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, look, we're definitely Spoiled. Right now, at least the last 2 years-ish, the Eagles have been kind of spoiled. I'll even say back to 2017, because now that we won a Super Bowl, we expect it every single year, right? And, that's hard to do. But, I mean, look, we want perfection. We really do. Any other team, you look at a lot of other teams out there, they're praising their team for having 2, 3, 4 losses, but looking good in games. We don't do that. If we lose the game, it don't matter how you looked. You could be it could be the most perfect game, the most beautiful game. It obviously ain't perfect because you lost, right? So we just have different standards, than a lot of fan bases. It is what it is. We beating the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Watch. I would love that. I would love that. Eat my turkey and watch y'all just demolish the Cowboys. I would love that. Appreciate the wrench when we gonna get a new intro for this year. We need new bars. Go ahead and use my decide bar. I might have to, yeah. I'm gonna have to use that decide bar. I'm gonna start working on some stuff pretty soon. I'm waiting on to find a good beat. You know what I mean? I want to get a good beat for it that really just speaks to me. Because when I did my original intro and even Joey Shakes and Philly 500's intro, I just love those beats. And I was like, I want to find a way to use these anyway. So it just worked out. So once I find that perfect beat, you know what I'm saying? Or I can maybe just reuse the one that I have, but I kind of want to get a new one. Williams said we need to double Kelsey, stop the run and run the ball down their throat. They will set up this. That will set up the play action for AJ and Smitty. I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Couldn't say it better than me. Better than any. Could not have said it any better. There we go. I knew I was gonna get it off. I knew I knew it was gonna come out at some point. Pause. Salah says, I mean, look at us. We are whining and complaining with an 8-1 record and beating at least 2 contenders. Yeah. I mean, and I wouldn't call it whining. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call it whining. But, I think this is the perfect way of saying it. Will said it perfectly. As is. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that, man. He said, as Eagles fans, we demand more from our team. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Hey, that's all it comes down to. I want to be the best. I want to be the best team that we possibly can be. And that means being as close to perfect as possible, right? Not making mistakes. And that's it. That's it. Rylan said, I do feel like when our boys play a good team, they really rise to the occasion. I know Dallas looks sloppy, but boy, I thought we handled Miami like a newborn baby. We did. And I will say one thing about Miami. Miami is kind of fraudulent. I'm going to be real with you. Miami is kind of fraudulent because they just can't beat any teams over 500. The Dallas Cowboys, I don't think, still have beaten a team over 500, if I'm not mistaken. So, are they contenders? I tend to side with the Dallas Cowboys on this right here. I don't think we've played any great teams yet. I don't think we've played any great teams yet. So, and that includes the Dallas Cowboys. I really don't think we've played any great teams yet. But we got some on our roster, on our schedule. So, we'll see what happens. Shout out to William for becoming part of the fam, man. Philly, the fam. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. I gotta change I just realized I still have the Fire Howie. I think I gotta change that ASAP. I would change that. Give me some ideas. Anybody that's a member, what kind of thumbnails do you want to see? Because you get that little badge next to you. What kind of badges you guys want? Let me know. You want like a Hertz one? I have my girl make some. She's really good with Photoshop. So let me know. Let me know whatever you guys want, and we'll try and make it. Arrowhead doesn't scare me at all. At all. Kansas City, they have some really nice people out there. I went out there. Obviously, I worked the draft out there. They got some really nice people out there. They are the kindest people in the world. They do not scare me. Forte, I love it. Call it the main thing. Keep it in the main thing. How many of these upcoming games you see us winning, Joe? At least 3. At least 3. Shout out to William with the $5 super chat. I appreciate that so much. Became a member and then you still threw money. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that, man. You really didn't have to do that. Next time you got to say something, ask a question or something. I got you. That's your time. But I appreciate you for real, William. Flying High says we just need to win and come out healthy after. That's where I'm at on all these games, to be honest. Get the dub, come out healthy. That's all that really matters. Nate, I had to make sure you were an Eagles fan, Nate. I'm gonna be real because the first comment was a little bit on the fence of it, so I had to make sure, but I got you a moderator, bro. He said Justin Evans back at safety and Byard at linebacker, hybrid versus Kelsey with Roby help if possible. I like that. I do. I think that me personally, I've said this before and I'll say it again, you can't cover people. We don't have and I'm not trying to sound like a hater on my team, but we don't have the personnel right now to cover people. We have the personnel to cover areas of the field. And I think that's what you have to do. Now, don't get me wrong. Mix it up and do some man coverage. But at the same time, you got to cover areas of the field. Make Patrick Mahomes take a second to read through the muck, right? And I think that's how you win. He said, we're whining. Even B-Dog said we got an ugly 8-1 wins record. Exactly. I mean, it is what it is. As much as I hate the team, I think Dallas is a really good team. I do too, but I'm just using their mentality against them. Shout out to my guy Mark C, man, with the $5 super chat. Y'all killing it today. I appreciate y'all so much. And how many we got? 57 people in the chat. I appreciate y'all so much, for real. He says, do not accept the mistakes in a win that you wouldn't in a loss. This is the Eagles fan. I like that. Is that an actual quote? Who made that quote? Is that actually like a quote? I love that quote. I love that quote. I'm actually going to pin that. Can I pin that? Oh, that's trash. I can't pin a super chat. That's trash that you can't pin a suit. I'm about to screenshot that, and we putting that on Twitter. Shout out to Mark. That's a great comment right there. I love that quote. I really do love that quote. Shout out to Mark with a $5 super chat and possibly the quote of the day. I like that. I like that a lot. It won't let me pin it. It's so it's so corny, right? It's so corny. Will says, yo, Joe, I was born in Kansas City and my parents moved us back to Philly when I was 5. Been an Eagles fan since 1977. That's dope. That's dope. I ain't got the time on y'all. I ain't got the time like that, but, I've been an Eagles fan for most of my life, so yeah, I'm full disclosure. I became an Eagles fan because of my father. God rest his soul. But my father was my whole family for the most part, except for my nephew that be in here, PJ, probably on PJ. He's a Patriots fan. My other nephew's a Jets fan. But my whole family was from New York. I was the first born in Connecticut out of my family. They were all Giants fans. And, I became an Eagles fan because of my dad, and I just hated hearing him talk about the Giants. I hated the Giants from, an early age, so I just wanted to be different. So when I was like, I was young. I was under 10. I was pretty young. It became go Eagles, fly, and then I never looked back. But Mark, I love that. You made that quote. I love that quote. I love that quote. That should be in a book. That should be in a book. Miss Ash says that injury bug latched onto us this season, but we keep fighting. Yeah, and that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Last year we got really lucky. We got really lucky when it came to injuries. We didn't see them. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. You got to just go out there. I say this all the time. I literally say this in every single live if we win or if we lose. It is what it is. We just got to keep moving forward. One of my favorite quotes that it's on my Twitter, whatever it's called, description. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% what you do about it. So things are going to happen throughout the season. It's all about how you rebound, how you bounce back. Can't wait to see how many Eagles fans is at the Monday game. I think it's going to be flooded because, like I said, when I went out there for the draft, I got stopped by a good amount of people. I got stopped by a good amount of people that either watch the show or follow me on Twitter, and people were out there. The Eagles fans was out there. I took pictures with people. It was dope. I ain't gonna lie. It was dope. It was really, really cool. And I will say that if you guys ever see me, because I've seen people at the Tampa game, I've seen people in Kansas City, in Indianapolis when I went to the Combine. If you ever see me, please say hi. You don't understand how much it makes my day. I'm going to be honest with you. I know some people will try to play it cool and be like, oh, whatever, yeah, I'm that guy. Bro, it makes me so happy. I'm going to be real with y'all. It is the coolest thing in the world when people come up to you and like, hey, I love what you do, or hey, I watch what you do, I support it. It means the world to me. So don't ever think that it'll be weird. Don't ever think I'll be weird about it. I love it. And my girlfriend's a photographer. So if I'm ever with her, we going to get a good picture going. William says, B-Dogs also said he likes the He likes the way we're winning in different ways because we're battle tested. That's huge. That is huge. I've said it before, man. It's the truth. We know that we can go out there and be losing at halftime and we don't panic, right? We know that we can be up big and we don't panic. We know that we can make a bunch of mistakes and we don't panic. We do not panic. And that's huge. And it starts with Jalen Hurts. Desai has done a good job so far considering he's had 10 different starters in the back seven this season. That's the thing. That's what I agree. And it was 8 or 9 different sets, 8 or 9 different lineups. Nate says, are you Hispanic? I am. I'm Puerto Rican, 100% Puerto Rican. Boricua. We represent Philly on Kansas City. They got a Chickies. No, they don't. Do they really? Kansas City has a Chickies and Pete's? I didn't know it was like a franchise. We need to win it all. Our window is near closing. I don't think it is. Why would you say our window is near closing? I don't think it is. I think that honestly we're only getting better because at some point, yes, defensively, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Jorge? I wanted to make sure I got that because you always support, and I wanted to make sure I said what up. But no, defensively, yeah, we're definitely getting older. We're definitely going to have to make some changes, but you still got a front four that's going to be here for at least another 3-4 years. Jalen Carter, probably the rest of his career. Milton Williams, probably the best rest of his career. So, I think that at the end of the day, you got a really, really good team, man. You got a really good team and a really young team at good positions. Cornerback, we got to figure out, right? Safety, we're probably going to have to figure out maybe one more guy. Linebacker, you might have the answer. I'm not going to lie to you. Not Zach Cunningham long-term, but I mean, Nicholas Morrow can play for you. I think that he can play here for another 3-4 years, and I wouldn't be mad at that. You got to figure out whether or not oh, you're kidding. It was an old coach. All right. I'd still like it, though. But, yeah, no, you got to figure out some positions. But I think that we're in a good spot. Offensively, you're good. I mean, yeah, you got to figure out for Lane Johnson. But outside of we've been able to hit on offensive linemen like it's nothing. Like, I know that that's not necessarily going to happen every single year. But I have faith. As long as we got Coach Stoutland, I'm cool. I feel like we can do it. Yeah, shout out to D. Tyler, man. I remember getting that. It was so cool. It's always so cool seeing people that I know. It's always so cool. I love it. I love it. I wish we had Jalen Hurts, a Jalen Hurts guy on the defensive side. I will not lose. I think we got that in Jalen Carter. I'm going to be real with you. I think the more that Jalen Carter feels comfortable in this team and in this city, because you got to understand he's still looked at as that kid that made a mistake. So whenever something good happens, people are going to twist it, and we just saw that, right? It is what it is. Not everybody, but there are going to be people, especially in the media, that are going to twist it and use it against him. So at the end of the day, I think more he gets comfortable in this system, comfortable in this city, I think he's going to start taking on that role as a leader. Same thing with Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox, I believe he got suspended from his college team for a while. He had some issues in college and a lot of maturity issues. So, he had to do the same thing. He had to kind of get used to the people around him. What's going on, Slow-Mo? What's going on? You're slow-mo to get into the chat, That was terrible. Too early to put Dean on the bench or still. I still got faith in him. I do still have faith in him. I think you have to see what he has. If he's healthy, you got to see what he has. And honestly, I think he's played well when he's been healthy. I know a lot of people are going to bring up, him in coverage, but they're just asking him to do crazy stuff. But I think that if you have faith in him as a coaching staff, I got faith in him. And I do have faith in him. I think that he's a good player. Kansas City has a Chickies and Pete's because Philly about to take over the city. No cap. No cap. So the last thing I wanted to get into, I meant to do this a while ago, but yeah, we started talking, and y'all kill the conversation. I love the conversations. Y'all kill it when it comes to the conversations. Like, I love just kind of reading what y'all say. But the poll, don't forget about the poll. 66 votes so far. How do you guys want to attack offensively? Right now, run heavy is in the league by a lot. 79% saying run heavy, 14% saying pass heavy, 8% saying play it safe in the first half, then adjust at halftime. Antonio, I do plan on going back to the draft. So, yeah, it's going to, pray for my safety because it's in, where is it this year? It's in Detroit. So, I wanted to get into this last thing before I do let you guys go. This is just basically the matchup that we're going to be looking at. It's pretty even. I mean, it's pretty even, and it's even in different ways, right? So it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, go if you go to Kansas City, definitely get their barbecue. That barbecue out there was crazy. Would have been nuts if we had drafted Asante Samuel Jr. in the upcoming draft. Trotter Jr. at linebacker. Yeah, I would have loved that. I would have loved that. Papa Joe says need to run control clock. Less time Pat has to be. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Jinx says, question, do you think if we win our next 3 games, do you think we get the first round bye? Yes, I do. I do. I think that if you're able to win the next 3 games, you probably only need to win maybe 1 or 2 more at the most. And, it depends on what happens with the other teams. It depends. We got to watch the Lions, because we can't determine what happens with them. We can't give them another loss. So, we got to watch what they do. If they keep on winning games, it's going to come close. It's going to come down to the wire. I do want that first round bye, and I do want home field advantage. Dean has played well, and when healthy, they need to utilize him at some blitzing schemes. Yeah, I like Dean. I know a lot of people are a little bit, frustrated with him getting hurt so much and just this defense not being good overall. But I like Dean. I think he's been good. But just to run it down real quick, points per game, the Eagles have 28. They're at 3rd. The Kansas City Chiefs have 23.1 at 13th. Points per game allowed is where the Eagles, that's what I'm saying. This is going to be a really weird game because we're not the best defensively when it comes to points per game, and they're not the best offensively when it comes to points per game. So it's going to be a balance. It's going to be interesting. We're one of the better teams when it comes to points per game offensively. They're one of the better teams when it comes to points per games defensively. So points per game defensively, 21.7. That's good for 18th for the Eagles, 15.9 second for the Kansas City Chiefs. Total yards per game, 8th for the Kansas City Chiefs with 368.8. 5th for the Philadelphia Eagles with 376.8. Pass yards per game, 265, which is good for 5th for the Kansas City Chiefs. 247.1, which is good for 10th for the Philadelphia Eagles. Rush game should be a very big integral part for the Eagles, and they are 8th with 129.7 yards per game on the ground. 103.9 for the Kansas City Chiefs is good for 19th in the league. Yards allowed per game. This is another one where the Kansas City Chiefs, look, they're gonna try and stop us, right? We're 5th in the league when it comes to total yards per game. They're 4th in the league when it comes to yards per game allowed. 288.2 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, like I said, 4th. 323.3 for the Philadelphia Eagles in yards allowed per game. Not good. It's 14th. So, it's right in the middle of the league, but that's not where you want to be. Turnover differential, where the Eagles have gotten better. We went down from, I think the highest we've had was -4. We're down to -2. This comes down to the Eagles offensively not giving the ball up as much, but we need to see the defense start taking advantage of the opposing offenses, make some big plays, get some big turnovers. Honestly, throughout the beginning of the season, we were not that bad when it came to turnover differential because the defense was making plays. So I need to see them get back to that, get some good big plays, some fumbles, some fumble recoveries, some interceptions, some block plays. Let's get some turnovers. That's what we need. Shout out to William. I appreciate that. Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Joe, is going to come down to which team makes the most plays and turnovers. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I didn't even see that before I went into that little spiel. But yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 60 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. But yeah, I agree, man. It's going to come down to mistake-free football, and it usually does, right? It usually does when you're going with these good teams. So it's time to see what the Eagles got. What do the Eagles got? I think that they got something special brewing up for this team. I think that the Eagles can go out there and definitely beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think if they do, then what? Then what? That's my question. Then what? What's the next excuse? If we go out there and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't care how the game looks. What's the next excuse? Because this team has been able to beat 8 teams already, right? And haven't looked amazing. They have not played their best football yet. I think we can all agree there. But yet they're 8-1. But yet they're atop of their division. But yet they're atop of the NFC, up top of the NFL. I would love to know. And I'm going to whisper so everybody can make sure they hear me. I would love to know what the next excuse is going to be. Because you know there's going to be an excuse, right? We all know there's going to be an excuse, right? We all know there's going to be an excuse. It's going to be, oh, well, this didn't look that great. Well, that didn't look that great. Well, your cheerleader didn't make the pyramid perfect, so I don't really know. That's what it comes down to, is people going to hate no matter what. No matter what. Nate said, I'm just hoping Philly stays hungry after beating the Chiefs and doesn't feel like they had to do it to get over the hump with KC. I agree. That's a very good point as well. I think the Eagles need to stay solid. They need to stay hungry. They need to stay disrespected and feel like they need to go out there and they need to win the Super Bowl. It's the confetti. It's not the team. That's really how I feel. It was the confetti dropping on their head. It wasn't the Chiefs beating them. That is making them upset. It wasn't their confetti dropping. It doesn't matter who they played. I think, and I don't think it matters who they play in the Super Bowl. They're going to want to go out there and win. And I'm excited, man. Push comes to shove, brotherly shove, we can comfortably beat the Lions in Detroit. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Eagles get the dub. People will say Mahomes has no one to throw to. Facts. Forte, that is the truth. That is the truth. They always move the goalpost when it comes to the Eagles. You ain't lying. Judah says keep the main thing. That main thing is winning no matter how it looks. Yeah, I agree. Let me see if you get Judah. Let me get you a moderator. You've been saying some good stuff. I appreciate you. Let me make sure everybody got D. Tyler. We got to get you. Hold on. We got to get you one as well. All right. They don't like us. We don't care. Bring the excuses. I agree, Lonely B. I agree. Antonio Holmes says once we win in KC, confidence will be through the roof. And we answer by winning the rest of those gauntlet games. Yep. And that's they already making excuses saying that this schedule doesn't look as hard as it used to be. Oh, there's a lot of these teams are struggling. They're lucky they're playing them now. Whatever, bro. Whatever. We ain't lose to trash teams. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the Jets, I guess that they're pretty bad. I mean, defensively they're good, but that was a bad loss for us. But outside of that, we haven't lost to trash teams. So I'm ready. I'm excited. We've beaten the good teams we've played. And it's time, man. Liddy Life, that's perfectly said. We got to have a statement game at some point. And why not now? Why not now? Shout out to Judah with the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, Judah. I appreciate that. But we about to get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came in the chat, man. This is always so much fun. You guys make this show what it is. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. You guys make this show fun. You guys make this show worth doing. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for talking with me and having this discourse. I will be back probably tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I got a meeting, but I'm going to try and go live before the meeting. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it's going to be. It's Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Say it with me if you like. Peace!
Everywhere, this is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby.